Welcome to Fourth Quarter Live on FanCred. Todd and Matt Williamson taking you home here for the fourth quarter of the Steelers-Raiders game. And Matt, we've had 3 weeks of this, 3 weeks where it's come down to, basically the last play of the game all 3 weeks. And it looks like we might be in for more of the same here with the Steelers and the Raiders as the Steelers have a 14-10 lead going to the fourth.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it's us. Every time we do this, strange games occur, closer games than we expected occur. This one's no different. I mean, they're all a little different from each other, but this one's no different. Now you don't have Ben, you don't have Connor. You're in a dogfight here.
What are the odds that Ben comes in on his on the white steed here in the fourth quarter, comes back and makes sure the Steelers get a victory here?
Yeah, I'm leaning that way too. I mean, he's still dressed, obviously. Apparently, he's got ribs, okay, but he's done it before.
It looked like a lot of anguish on the sideline. I mean, he ran up the field, ran back on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this would be the perfect time too, right after a pick. Come on in. It's very Ben-like to do, I would think. I'm betting on it. Yeah,
he loves the moment. So, your view of the Steelers' performance thus far? I mean, obviously the Raiders start this game, go right down the field against the Steelers. The defense has played better since then. They finally got their first turnover in forever on the empty hand play, and then it kind of looked like they were going to give it right back on the same thing, and then the pick for Dobbs. You got me there?
I lost you there for a second, but now I do.
So how do you assess the Steelers' performance so far?
I mean, it's lackluster, maybe. I expected a much more dominant performance. I know that they've struggled mightily over the years in Oakland, but to me, that's not an excuse. I mean, they're the far superior team. I do think the Raiders are starting to show more signs of life. They played the Chiefs pretty tough last week. They did. But I mean, early on, you're letting Jared Cook beat you, and to me, he's like the only threat. I mean, it's kind of
the only guy, right? I mean,
only guy, yeah.
But you got him matched up with LJ Fort. First two plays, again, it was kind of shades of Keenan Allen last week. They've done a better job here. Why do you think the Steelers are having so much trouble running the ball?
Yeah, I don't get that either. I was going to go with it too because I don't think it's necessarily, the running back situation. I mean, yeah, you'd rather have Connor, but I thought they would control the line of scrimmage in the trenches in all manners, and they haven't in the run game, which is surprising.
Yeah, they haven't moved the ball at all on the ground. These matchups here, it's just, again, the Steelers put themselves in these situations where, you make a mistake, and Dobbs obviously just did make a mistake, and, you can lose this game on a day when everything has, kind of broken their way so far.
It's breaking their way around the AFC, that's for sure. And, they just show in the stat right now, Oakland's giving you 105 yards in penalties. I mean, if I told you 3 hours ago that you were going to get 105 yards in penalties going into the fourth quarter, you would think they're up by 40.
Good gracious. What a terrible throw by
really bad.
Barr. And, Sean Davis, Steelers DBs just can't catch the ball.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a problem coming into the season, but I'm certainly warming up to the idea that they cannot. Davis in particular.
I mean, that
would have been a nice play. But,
that's, Steelers. Obviously, Carr, do you see he's killing his receiver there?
Right, and they've gone through a lot of receivers. I trust my hunch is Carr's right on that.
Yeah. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I thought that punt hit off Switzer. Yet another Raiders penalty coming.
Yeah, interfering with him making the catch. Thanks for joining us here on FanCred. Of course, look, one of the things we're working with, we can see you in the comments if you want to chat with me. And Matt, hit us up. We're seeing what you guys are saying. And if you look in the upper right-hand corner, we'll be able to take some of you live during the conversation today. So I'm reading some of the comments here. We got Joey Porter saying, DT, if the score was different, the standings were, and New England wasn't next week, would Ben be in there and they're being cautious? Matt, what do you think? What do you think the view is here with Ben on the sideline? And do you expect to see him coming out?
I think he comes out now. I mean, Dobbs just throws a pick, but the ball's not coming out of his hands well. It's officially time to be concerned, I think, about this game. You can't lose this game. Meanwhile, it looks like Cincinnati's playing the Chargers tough. Like all the playoff teams in the AFC are having a tough day, including the Steelers. I mean, you got to win this game. I don't want to hear we're saving them for New England or anything along those lines, because I'm not sure they win this game with Dobbs.
Yeah, so the fan line's in the upper right-hand corner if you want to join us. Matt, Chris asked us, would you rather have Landry Jones playing quarterback right now or Josh Dobbs if you're the Steelers, if you had your choice?
Jones. I find it curious that he doesn't have a job, though, or couldn't stick in Jacksonville. And I wonder, has he turned jobs down? Who knows? But I always thought of him as somebody that Steeler Nation was really too hard on. I mean, when I was at ESPN, something I used to do like every other year was I had to rank the 32 backups in the league. And go do that if you think Landry Jones is terrible. I mean, people have it a lot worse. And this is the ideal situation for a guy like Jones. I mean, and there's a lot to be said for not hurting the team and distributing the ball for where it needs to be. I understand big picture. You just didn't want to move on from Dobbs. I mean, especially after the preseason he had. So I get that. But we also know that Ben misses time.
Yeah, I thought for sure Landry Jones was going to be the backup, and I thought it was the right thing just for these reasons, right? You have 2 or 3 games where Ben might not be seriously hurt, but you're going to have somebody else go in there, and I'd rather have Landry Jones. And really, I would rather have Landry Jones right now. I know I'm with you. I think Steeler fans are really hard on him overall, but he is competent. He's played decent. He was decent in that game against New England, whenever that was. But the benefit of Dobbs obviously is his mobility. That's the one thing that he certainly has over both Ben and Landry Jones. We'll see. This is this is an important drive here to get
they absolutely do. And again, you see a great example of not being able to run the ball there. I mean, obviously the Raiders want you to throw at this stage. I mean, considering who the quarterback is, Ben keeps loosening up. They keep flashing to him. Like he's Willis Reed or whatever.
Yeah, Herman says Ben's only coming in if they fall behind. Then he gets to be the real hero.
Yeah, the music starts and he enters. I thought he'd be in this series, but let's see what happens here on third down. Oh, and then the throws that Dobbs does make, guys like Conley are breaking up. The Raiders deserve a little credit here too.
Yeah, the Raiders have their DB. I didn't realize how good Conley is. I mean, he's the real deal, right? He's
interesting is he.
Just he's late with that throw. He's got to get that throw there. He's got to.
I mean, weeks ago they were talking about Conley and Joseph, 2 former first-round picks, being on the trade block, and I often said, "Hey, I'll throw you guys a pick for one of those 2." And I think they wised up with Conley and realized, he's played really well the last month or so. So he's a guy.
What year's
second? He was a first-round pick a year ago. So Gruden didn't take him.
Joseph's second year, right? Second or third?
This is his second. I think he was a rookie last year. Oh, you're talking about Joe.
West Virginia,
Joseph
right?
was the year before. Conley, second year. Joseph,
yes,
right.
Third year. Right.
But I mean, you're not dumping for
yeah. Right? So we got someone on the fan line. Let's get Bill on the fan line. Bill, what's going on? See if we pull him up here. So, what'd you think of that? The trick play.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Absolutely, man.
I'm in New Jersey. I've been following the Steelers ever since you guys started this show, and I saw them lose to the Broncos. I saw them lose to the Chargers. Only 13 points against the Raiders. What is going on with this team?
Yeah,
I'll tell you. It's a good question. Look, that opening drive was a disaster. I'm going right down the field on the Steelers. And the defense has played okay since then. Carr hasn't been great. As Matt said earlier, they don't have any weapons now that Cooper's gone. This is a team you expect to hold under 20 points, but obviously on the offensive side of things, Boswell missing a field goal, Dobbs in here the second half. They're not able to run the ball at all. I mean, clearly ever since we started doing this show, it has been a disaster.
The self-inflicted wound since we've been on is crazy. And, some weird bounces too, like the Chargers game, the Keenan Allen touchdown where Davis just smashes into Hayden, and instead of an interception, it's a touchdown for the opponent, and some missed calls last week. And I'm not saying the Steelers were the better team last week, but it was a strange game. Team against Denver 2 weeks ago, and just turned the ball over too many times. I mean, that game, they lost the turnover battle by 4. If they lose that turnover battle by 3, they win, let alone 2. Or, they were a dominant team, but they just couldn't finish.
I don't know if we lost Bill, but if we didn't, are you still there, Bill? Okay. Well, I was going to ask him who he'd rather have out there. Let's take a poll. Hit us up on the chat. Give me an answer. Who you'd rather have playing quarterback right now for the Steelers? This would obviously be assuming that Landry Jones was still on the team. Would you rather have Landry Jones, or would you rather have Josh Dobbs?
And the other note on that is, tough environment on the road. I think the veteran makes you a better team right now. Yeah, I think you'd have a more expanded playbook, a better feel for how to handle the crowd noise, how to get in and out of the huddle, the simple things.
We're getting kind of split votes here between Dobbs and Jones as 1st and 10 for the Raiders here. They complete an out to about the Steeler 30. Mark said it wouldn't matter. A loss is a loss. Michael says he'd take Dobbs for the scrambling ability. A lot of people kind of really about 50-50. We got about 50 votes coming in already. About 50-50 on that so far.
And it does need to be taken into account that Dobbs may have a long-term future here. Nice throw there.
Oh, that's a good throw there by Carr. Again, look at the matchup. Was that LJ Fort on the wide receiver? Yep.
That's a nice play design. I'm not excusing it at all, but throwing against Steeler linebackers is a winning proposition, and I have a feeling Mr. Brady and Mr. Belichick are taking note.
Absolutely.
And Breeze and Peyton.
Well, the Steelers, look, Matt, obviously the Steelers are in trouble if they lose this game because of what they face the next 2 weeks. I mean, it looked like the Ravens were going to pull that game out, and then you get the big plays, the 4th down conversions, and then, everything that happened after that. Pretty entertaining game to watch. One of the better games of the season. But, man, you lose this game. You've lost 3 in a row. You've got New England. And I can't imagine them going to New Orleans and winning. No. And that means, your best case scenario is, not great.
8 or 9 win season, right. Yeah. And
right. I don't think 8-7 I'm not going to do it.
Probably not. I mean, I don't know that the Ravens are great, but they were impressive today. I still think the Steelers end up winning this division when it's all said and done. I think they win this game, but I am not confident about it. I think they can hang with the Patriots, but the Patriots look a lot better the last week or two than they did the first week or two of the season. Gronk looks like he's back to being himself, which is a little frightening for sure. Brady's coming into his own a little bit. They lost today, but in a really strange manner themselves.
Greg says he put Ben back in with the sore ribs and cold virus. Herman asked, and this is a good question because I've been pretty staunch in my view on this so far about Boswell that I wouldn't do anything. But today, again, it's a crap field, and but all of a sudden, my level of concern went from 0 concern to now actually very concerned. I don't think you can do anything about it.
I mean, I think I think we've had this conversation in each of our 4 weeks, and we both were like, I'm at 0 or 1 out of 10. And then today, it was just like a hammer in the face. Like, come on, man. I mean, make a kick. I've seen enough. I mean, I'm at my wit's end with this. But then if you think about it rationally, like you said, it's not even the dead money it would be to cut him. It's who are you going to sign? There's nobody out there. I mean, whoever you sign's worse.
Yeah, I mean, the guy had – look, if he were a rookie or a second-year guy and he didn't have the track record he had with the Steelers, I would imagine they would have moved on by now. But he has been really good. It's just you just need some level of consistency here. So Carr completes a pass for a first down on the Raiders on the Steelers 30. A couple of our guys on the chat line. By the way, if you guys want to join the fan line on the upper right-hand corner, hit that. We'll get some more people up. I think we had a little connection problem with Bill. Sorry about that, Bill. But appreciate you jumping on.
One quick note, David, on that last play, and something I've kind of seen, but I want to see the all-22. Let's not forget this is the worst protecting team in the league. And I don't need super deep safeties. I mean, if this team's not able to protect to go downfield on deep 7-step drops and things like that, let's be a little more aggressive with the game plan. Get them a couple more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Come after them.
That's a good point. Good point, Matt. Some of these guys are making a point, which is correct, that Boz came off the street as well. You never really know because we just we don't see kickers. You don't see them until you see them. But it's a fair point. What do you think? What do you think?
One thing you will see though is there's 5 teams or so in the league that just keep searching and they're pulling kickers off the street. And trust me, they're not having success. Yeah. So, of course, Kevin Colbert's company.
Chargers finally got one. The kid hit a 59-yarder today.
Yeah. But the kicking situation at the bottom of the league is not good right now.
Yeah, Jonathan said Raiders scored TD has been coming back. I think he. I think he's coming back.
I almost think no matter what.
What are the odds? So hey, we'll ask our the people who are with us. Give me the percentage that Keith Butler is the defensive coordinator for the Steelers next year. Right now, I'd put it at 65, 70%. The Steelers don't have a lot of turnover in the coaching staff. Butler's been, he's been with Tomlin since the beginning. He's been around forever. But having said that, and look, the Steelers have a really good defensive run after a slow start to the season. And this is not on the defense right here today. But, at some point they may say to Mike, you got to make some changes. So we got people all over the map, kind of around that between 50 and 90s on the high side. Except Joel said 17.34. Butler sucks so bad.
One thing, I love Steeler Nation. Don't get me wrong, and I grew up here. But boy, this town compared to the other 31, they do not look around the league very much. I mean, look at the defenses around the league this year. It's insane. This was a middle of the group, middle.
Matt, you're going for this if you're the Raiders, right? No doubt. Just 4th and 1 here.
They got it.
And they do, and they run it. And, it looked like the Steelers had a chance to stop that. And I don't know what he's thinking. He got tackled by like 5 different guys.
That way.
He's down at the 15. It looked like the Steelers could have stopped that play.
Yeah, I want to see this replay here again. I was off on a tangent about defense around the league or whatever.
Yeah.
Cam's a little slow getting off the block. Who's that Phil that was poor there?
Got wiped out. I don't know. He rolled on both knees and both his butt, didn't he? I don't know why he thinks he's not down.
Edmonds does some head scratching things too.
MT points out the defense is ranked 7th before today. Yeah, like I say, look, this game is not on the defense. The first drive was bad, but again, we say the same line every week. The other team gets paid to play as well. The Raiders aren't a good football team, but it doesn't mean they can't make some plays. Carr can make the throws. That's never been an issue.
And Gruden knows what he's doing. I know he hasn't been in the league for a while, but he's schemed things up and he's getting the most out of a bad talent base and the rules and the way the league.
I love Gruden, by the way. I know a lot of people think he's an awful coach.
Right. I mean, he doesn't have any players. I mean, he traded away his 2 good dudes. And I think him and Carr will work out well together. But that's not excusing anything. But, I mean, if you give up 10 points with 6 minutes left in the game, that's great defense against any NFL team. I mean, that's just how this league is right now. One note on the defense is, remember when Shazier went out last year, all the big plays that occurred, well, clearly they've changed their priorities, and they're back to don't allow the huge play, make them matriculate the ball down the field, and the Rivers and Bradys and Brees of the world will do that. They'll pick on those linebackers to no end if you give it to them. But
Garrett said the problem with the defense is the best offense is cut through them with D's. The Steeler D's never get the splash plays, not a winning D. There is some truth to that. I have some, we will see the next 2 weeks really with
they do need more splash plays for sure. But they do consistently get sacks. I mean, I don't think anyone out there is going to deny that the pass rush is what they do best. And if I only have one thing to build a defense around, it better be a pass rush. So is it a good group? No. Is it a bad group? No. Can you win the Super Bowl with them? Maybe. But it's middle of the road.
Great throw and catch there. That was good coverage by Hayden. Can't do it much better than that.
Ben better be warming up.
Jordy's been one of my favorite players in the league. He's been awfully good coming out of K-State. Do you remember that I was at that preseason game where all by himself he tore his MCL, missed that whole season. Oh, there you go. The tackle for a loss. Nice play by Stephon Tuitt's made a couple plays in this game.
Absolutely.
Batted a now.
And you broke up there. Not sure what you asked me. That's a great play by Tuitt.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, Tuitt making a nice play here. Vince coming over the top to it with a tackle for loss. He's had a bet. Ooh, good thing they didn't call Alvin for a face mask. Watch him wrap his hand around his face there. Oh, he got it, too. He closed it on it. Steelers get a break.
Still, second to goal.
If you're Raiders, you running or throwing?
I'm running. But this is also 4-down territory for me, don't you think? I mean, unless you take a sack or a penalty or, oh, boy. Does that lead?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. He catches like 3 balls a year. Pure blocking.
Oh, he lets it. They're passing it around like a hot potato. Oh, and spiked it. Carr. That was Carr who spiked it.
No, man.
I got to say, I like that.
Good celebration. Not so great defense on the play, but the last guy you would suspect, the 280-pound blocking tight end. Nice throw. Vince, you look a little slow there, man.
Last week when OBJ went wide open that way you can see. I mean, I couldn't believe that OBJ got lost in the shuffle last week. You can see why that guy gets lost in the shuffle.
Right. I mean, he's your last priority, but man, I mean, good play call, well executed. I'd kind of like to see it again because does Williams get tied up? It looks like Williams is in man coverage with him, ignores him, tries to close, and look kind of slow doing so. But
Ben's getting his helmet coming in, so it's this is so typical.
Yeah, this very much is typical Ben. Come in, save the day, and if you don't, you can always blame the injury.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to be here next week, Matt, because I'm going to be at the Steelers game with my I got some buddies flying in from Boston to go to this game, guys I went to school with. But, man, I don't think, if they lose this one, I don't think they're going to want us back. We've got Mike on the fan line.
To get these two off.
Mike, see if we can pull them up and see what's going on. So, apparently, Ben does have his helmet ready to go, according to – hey, Michael, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Do you think it's us? Do you think Matt and I are causing the Steelers to lose?
No, but it's a strange coincidence.
It is.
Where are you located
now? Yeah, actually, I've been here for about 10 years. So I say now as if it's a strange thing. But yeah.
I'm coming to Nashville next week. First time ever. Not second time ever. I came down for Steelers Titans game way back when they were there for when Antonio Brown took that kick return for a touchdown. But
I'm down, man.
I was in the
you were at that game too?
At Tennessee State played in marching band there. I was at that game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was like 100 degrees, man. It was one hot day.
It was.
And I think Dennis Dixon was the quarterback that day, if I remember correctly.
That was the game. I think Troy jumped over the line and.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
So what do you think, man? Who would you rather have a quarterback right now, Landry Jones or Josh Dobbs?
Some teams have a philosophy: if they're even, you go with the younger guy. Maybe
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that was it. I think the athleticism and hoping you get through the year. So you got Dobbs and Rudolph. You probably weren't going to sign Landry Jones after this season. So we'll see. But man, I don't know what to make of this team. I actually thought going into the Jags game, I actually thought they were a pretty good team. I did not think they were a good team starting the season, and that proved out. But I don't know now.
I agree with you. At the beginning of the season, you made mention that even after the draft and after free agency, on paper they didn't look like a better team in August 2018.
Right. It finished last year.
That's a good point.
And so on paper, I think that's starting to show. They don't have the options. A wide receiver, I think, missing. Personally, I miss Martavis Bryant just because of the big play capabilities. And we thought James Washington can do some of it, but you just haven't seen that.
Matt, how good's Leighton Vander Esch been down in Dallas? I mean, obviously he wasn't on the board when the Steelers picked, but he was the guy I was looking at. And it seems like he's been playing great lately.
I would say I'd give him an A or an A+. I mean, he looks like a total superstar. He is massive, but still has sideline-to-sideline skills. He's great in the passing game. I mean, it's to the point where it's a conversation with Sean Lee coming back as who should get the snaps. I mean, he's a defensive player of the year or defensive rookie of the year type of dude. I mean, he's been really, really good. Meanwhile, though, Rashaan Evans hasn't. I mean, he hasn't really played much.
Okay.
Mike, give us a final score, man. What do you think? Ben's in there. First pass, hits AB for a little 12, 13, 14-yard gain. Give me a final score.
I think we win it by a field goal somehow.
I like it.
All right. I'm taking the Steelers 21-17. Appreciate the time, Micah. Thanks for joining us, man.
My theory on Boz.
Yeah.
My dad brought it up. I think Boz's leg is a lot stronger than it used to be. So it's like kind of like a power pitcher. You're going to throw more 100
He's getting used to it.
He's going to throw more balls, too. That's our theory on it. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, I never understood why Mike never let him kick the 55-yarders because distance has not been an issue. Nice job by Samuels here to get it out to midfield. So, Ben, two short passes. Steelers are in business. Yeah. Appreciate the call, man. Thanks.
Offense has a little energy there for the first time in a while. I'm sure bringing 7 back doesn't hurt.
Right. I will say this. When Samuels has been in the open field, he's looked good.
Yeah.
When he's been out in space, he's run pretty well.
Watching him at camp and in the preseason, I thought he was sort of a monotone guy, not a real burst dude. But a couple times since then, he looks like he's moving around pretty well, especially when he gets a little space.
So 2 timeouts. Oh, my goodness. God.
How many times has he missed a guy this year? I mean wide open. Jeez. Again. I mean, he makes some amazing throws, but the ones he misses make me insane.
Wow.
There's a flag on the play, though. Holding on the defense. Maybe they grab Juju. Maybe I'm being too hard on Ben, but there's a lot of penalties from Oakland. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's about 120 yards. Again, the Steelers in these bunch formations, we're seeing so many teams run this stuff, and that's a great out. Oh, boy. He's still
got him, right.
He's still got
a lot of the reasons he misses those wide open throws is he throws them on a line. Put a little more air under him. Let the wide receiver adjust to it because you have a little bit extra time. You don't have to gun it in a tight window.
Yeah, he had, what was it, Hunter last week? I mean,
let the receiver make a play. You don't have to be perfect as a quarterback there. This is looking good for Samuels.
Another check down to Samuels with a lot of room to run. Oh, down to the 20.
Yeah, utilizing him as a receiver is clearly going to work out here, I think.
Yeah, the check. Ben's going to have. He's probably got 200 yards in passing yards, but a lot of that's yak on these little throws. I mean, this is the 7th or 8th time they've run that play.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, clearly, I think Running's out the door, though.
Empty set. Steelers from the 21 here. If you're with us, we Matt and I are at about 3:53 left in the game. I know different cable systems have different things going different ways, but Juju, this is so classic Ben. It's classic Ben. Come in, drive them down for the winning score.
Unbelievable.
Or at least take the lead score.
I like the chances.
First,
David, I don't know about you. I mean, I'm not worried about scoring too soon or anything like that against this team. Just get a touchdown here if you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've got. So I told you, man, I got this setup where I got the normal TV and the feed in front of me, and I got the red zone over here. So when red zone comes on, puts me back on the fast feed. So I do know what happens here with Juju getting down on one now. So this is what we've seen in the past couple of games. People begging for Rosie Nix and pound the ball. What do you do here?
I pound the ball here too, because we did see some of that earlier. We saw Chooks, we saw Nix down the goal line situation. I think that's the right move. I would slow things down. You're in good shape. You're rolling along, but they're obviously disagreeing with me, apparently.
Yeah, they go empty set.
It's working. They're moving the ball, but I just think there's room for error.
Oh, my goodness. Watch this play, Matt. You're going to lose your mind on this play.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, watch this. Watch this closely. Good gracious.
Wow.
Wow. What is that?
They run that play all the time now, and I feel like everyone in the stadium knows it's coming. He tries to throw it through somebody to get it in. I hate these bunch sets in this tight with this many bodies around.
Right.
I mean, that'd be a heck of a play by 56 there. I mean, but then throws it through his arms.
It goes right through his.
And of course, Juju muscles in. He's a much stronger dude than people realize.
He's a beast. He's having a great game.
Yes.
Had some real catching. The touchdown catch was great. Catch on the sidelines. A couple nights. The first one, the hand
The toe
the hands catch.
Getting to the touchdown was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was
Juju
was
is having an unbelievable season. Let's hear what you can do.
So if you want to join us, appreciate you being with us here on Fourth Quarter Live with FanCred. You obviously have managed to get the app on. And if you want to join us, you can hit the fan line on the upper right-hand corner. We got the adventure of Christian Boswell's extra points now. You can't go to the bathroom or get any food or do anything, guys. He does, and obviously that's big. That makes it a 4-point game.
We've seen crazier finishes. I don't want to say this is in the bag, but this isn't exactly playing against Rivers or somebody like that either. I wouldn't mind bringing a little pressure after Carr, though. He doesn't like pressure, and I don't want to see pure prevent and sitting back on your heels the whole time.
Oh, no. I can't. I can't believe that pass they just threw there. That was not a great. That was the James Harrison play that the backer kind of dropping into that. All right. Well, so what would you see around the? Hey, Matt, let's talk about the Ravens for a second while we're in commercial. Can you play the way they're playing? I mean, could you play that way for a whole season, Lamar Jackson? I mean, he's going to get better as a passer, but can you have your quarterback run 10 or 15 times a day? We've seen what Josh Allen's doing in Buffalo, but it's really with Lamar. I mean, that's the design. Just
absolutely. No, I mean, I think we've seen guys like Newton and Kaepernick and RG3 lean on their legs early in their career. Not all those guys had a defense like Baltimore or a kicker like Tucker or as strong a coaching staff, but you have to learn. You have to play from the pocket at some point. And I do think he's throwing the ball a lot better than he did in the preseason or when he took over as a starter. And those legs are the ultimate weapon. I mean, he's a rare runner without question, but he has to develop more to be more than a 9-7 type team.
Yeah. Where would you have let Tucker? Well, now that we've seen kind of a crazy play at the end of the game work, what's your borderline with Justin Tucker to tie the game or kind of run a Hail Mary or a crazy play? Where do you let Tucker kick from? Would you let him kick from 70?
Wow. Yeah, probably. I mean, depending on weather and,
if you were on your own 47, that's roughly, so you got a 53 yards to go or a 70-yard field goal. What would you let Tucker?
Probably Tucker. I mean, unless it was footing like we're looking at now in Oakland or windy or something like that. But yeah, I think so. I mean, he's your best player. Trust him. You know what I mean? Like, he's the best I've ever seen.
Listen, I laugh about it. I make the joke on Twitter all the time. When Tucker doesn't hit it right down the middle, it actually counts as a miss for him. He doesn't hit the uprights dead down the center.
It's like a perfect drive every time. I mean, it's an unbelievable thing. He's the best I've ever seen by far.
Yeah, that's why that missed extra point was so crazy amazing.
Right. I mean, that was once in a lifetime.
No, that can cost them the playoffs.
It might. They're sitting at 7-6.
Okay, 255.
Yeah,
Steeler Nation, let's go. What do you got? Let me get back on the chat line, see what's going on here. Stand up. Somebody's telling me to stand up because that was working in one of the other.
I think that's how we pulled out the Jags game is when you stood up.
Yeah, Jags game.
Our opening week.
Yeah, standing up. All right, I'm standing up for a little while anyway.
Stretch those weary bones.
We had to get this going.
This is where I want defense, especially Bud and Watt, eat up these tackles and get a sack or a pressure or two. I mean, these tackles are garbage.
Yeah, Michael's calling for a TJ Watt tip INT. Let's see. You've got to make that tackle, Sean Davis. Oh, that was a good hit.
Nice cleanup, but Davis needs to make a play.
Yeah.
Let's see his pass rush in action.
We're going with the stand-up.
All right,
let's see. So Raiders only one timeout. Obviously, that's a disadvantage for them here. But time shouldn't be an issue. They got plenty of time. 2:36.
Oh,
they make some plays.
That was bad there. Now, if they'll show this again, but TJ probably should have got a sack here. Really got held.
Did he catch that? Yeah, he did, huh? How about that? That play where they ran down after the pass down the middle? Did that guy catch that ball? I didn't see the replay. I thought
so, but I didn't get a great look at it either, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Boy, they're
all right. Well, we're going to be at the 2 morning here.
They're rather soft on their coverages here.
All right, so maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll get back down in the seat since that
change the mojo here at the 2-minute warning.
So they came with 4 each of those times. Let's see if we can get. And somebody want to jump on with us in the fan line? Let's get some predictions here. Just give it to me. Steal it on the chat. Steelers win or not? Let's go. What's the final score? Give me the Steelers win or not? What do you think the percentage is here? Yeah, I think you got to send more, as you said. Keep him in the pocket. He's not that big a threat to
No,
run.
And he doesn't like pressure. I mean, that's kind of the knock on him. I want to see him get hit around a little bit. And although I do think TJ got held really badly there a play or two ago, but I want the pass rush to step up. And this isn't something we've talked about, but I feel like the end of the last few games, the defense has looked a little fatigued to me. And I excused it in Denver with the high altitude. But I'm not saying they're not in shape, but they've looked a little worn down more than I can accept late in games. And I'm not saying that's the case here, but so I'd like to see something different. I'd like to see them step up late in the game on defense.
Yeah, Philip gives you he agrees for sure. Yeah, look, we haven't – and one of the things, Matt, when we get in these late game situations that, look, we've got sophisticated fans, and I'm sure the people who are with us on the chat probably, pay attention to this. I don't think people realize what a huge advantage it is to have an extra down. You're obviously going for it on 4th down all the time. We saw the Chiefs twice convert on that last drive on 4th down. You get basically 33% more play, 1/3. You get, another play is a huge deal, which I think people think about defenses and prevent all that stuff. I don't think they really take into account, that.
No, I think you're 100% right. And especially when we were kids, but even like 10 years ago, in these situations, you'd always be talking about field position and, late in the game with their decisions, or it's all field position driven. Field position doesn't mean anything anymore. It's all about how many plays you can get in and how many plays you can run.
That's a great point because and look, everybody can do it now. Yeah. And time, you have 2 minutes. Time better not be a problem. 2 minutes and 2 timeouts. You got to go 50 yards. Time's not a factor at all.
Even if it's the Raiders, even if it's the Bills, that's not that prohibitive anymore.
Yeah, Philip says it'd be nice to have Ola in here as a pass rusher in this situation. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who they bring. You would think, I'm sure Cam and, Cam to it, Watt and Alvin are going to be, I would imagine, all coming. You're going to send somebody like him. What are you going to do? You might want to cover Jared Cook.
That's got to be priority number 1. But coming off a commercial, you would think all their pass rushers are a little fresher. That comes at a good time for the defense. I thought this was going to be a heavy Ola, Samuels, James Washington type game script. Oh, man, and he completes one deep down the middle. Unbelievable.
Holy cow.
That's nice for that.
Now the Steelers got to worry about clock. Now the Steelers have to worry about the clock.
Wow. Now they basically be turning.
Wow, it's rough.
That's a nice throw there. Not terrible coverage. Little late to get over, but he drops it in the bucket.
Did they run down and do anything?
It's ticking here. We're at 124. No one seems real worried about the clock for whatever reason.
Well, the Steelers have to call timeout after this play if it's not an incomplete pass. They just have to do it.
Yes.
Wow.
This is an odd clock situation here because obviously a field goal does you nothing. It's 4-down territory for them. It's not like you let them score, and, that's for sure, because there's a very good chance that Oakland screws us up.
What is he doing? You're
right. You have to.
This is a terrible decision by Mike Tomlin.
Really bad.
Terrible decision by Tomlin.
I don't understand this. Because if he scores, you beat yourself. It's over.
Yeah, this is unbelievable that he is not calling timeout here. They're going to throw the ball, and if you get an incompletion, it's going to stop. You just wasted a chance.
Wasted 3 plays.
It's so freaking stupid.
Does this all the time?
Oh.
So, he's going to say in the press conference, win or lose, hey, I trusted my defense. We didn't see the clock as an enemy. But that's still wrong.
It's just flat
wrong.
It's and we're not listening. Guys, tell me on the chat what the announcers are saying.
Yeah, we leave the sound down.
Yeah, Garrett said, I don't have the money to pay someone for clock management. Pay my ass for clock management. This is ridiculously dumb. Raiders have to throw now. Steelers going to this is ridiculous. You're begging your defense now to make they bring everybody again.
Very nice play.
Oh, Morgan Burnett makes a play. Look at Morgan.
I thought he was
Joey, I
don't
know what.
I didn't know he could make plays.
Somebody said finally on the chat.
Finally. So it comes down to one play, and the Steelers are going to go in, win or lose, with 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Ridiculously stupid.
Right. Because the exact same situation probably happens, but you have a minute left or something like that, and you have a chance in case you give up the play here. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. And I'm sure he'll explain it away with, I went with my gut. I trusted my defense. Well, there's a reason metrics are out there and people do all this advanced analytic work to know when to use timeouts. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And they use the timeout now? Is that what happened?
No, I think the Raiders did they have any? I'm trying to talk on the chat a little bit.
No, the Steelers use the timeout there.
Okay. Yep. Whatever. It doesn't.
Why did you do it? I don't know. Why did you do it last? No,
they did it there to set their defense. So, are you bringing guys or not? All right. Should I stand or sit? Give me an answer. Stand or sit? Stand hasn't worked very well. I don't think it's going to work very well right now.
Save the Jags game. They only bring 4. Somebody's wide open. Touchdown. Steelers are going to lose to the Raiders. Really good job.
My God. I can't believe this. Neil is right. Neil, Garrett, sit. Jeez. This is – I'm not a, the season's over type of guy, but that's is –
terrible look.
Hilton,
so do you agree with me right now there should be a minute on the clock?
Of course I agree with you.
But in terms of how much time should be on the clock.
Yeah, at least 30 more seconds.
At least 30 more seconds, which, going back to the point of field position doesn't matter, it just plays. That's like 5 plays or 4 plays when you get the ball back. Now you get 2 plays, It's not like you're going to run it when you get the ball. It's bad. Part of me says good for Gruden, by the way. Like I said, I like him too. And get a good win like this finally gets the people off your back. But this is terrible for the Steelers.
It's Matt. I don't. This is like, I talk about this. I don't want to repeat that I talk about this all the time, but these are the things that if you win or lose one game a season because of how you manage the clock, it can be the difference between making the playoffs or not. I don't know if the Steelers have 50 seconds with that or 60 seconds that they're going to score a touchdown, but you got a hell of a lot better chance, as you said, than if you got 21 seconds. You got 5 plays versus
right,
2.
And that's a lifetime. That's monumental, and all it costs you is 1 timeout in order to get 3, 4, 5 more plays, maybe.
Right.
And again, he's probably going, well, I thought my defense was going to stop him. Well, so what? It doesn't matter. You're not giving them anything. You didn't lose anything.
Right. You're not doing that. Right. You thought you do. It's just
you're giving them more plays. Just look at it through the perspective of how many plays do you have. The Raiders still only have 2. They're going to take both of them no matter what. Now you have 2 instead of 6. Makes no sense.
It's just unbelievable. Right.
You get the feeling when they go to the sidelines, people are looking at him like, what are you doing, man? AB has the towel in front of his mouth talking to Hayward Bay, probably saying, what on earth are we doing? Give us a chance. And you're right. It happens 3 times a year, and twice a year it costs them. And I'm a Tomlin fan. We're going to hear all week, fire Tomlin. He's not the answer. But since day one, I've really questioned his game day clock usage, game management. And I used to say, well, how can we expect him to be good? He's never been a head coach, even in high school. But he's been a head coach a long time now. These are the same things that happened when he was a first-year head coach.
Right.
Right. And I don't want to hear him going with my gut, and I know my team, and it's just dumb. It's mind-boggling, like you said. It's unbelievable. It's an easy decision.
I cannot believe this.
I mean, on that one play, you watched like 30 seconds just tick off the clock in front of you and accepted it. You were happy with it. Those are your 30 seconds. That's not 30 seconds you're taking from them.
Right, that's it. Because they're inside the 10, unless you have a bunch of penalties in the end zone, they may run another play or two, but they can't get another first down.
Right, that's the key. It's not like you're giving them a new set of downs or giving them more plays. You're taking plays potentially away from yourself if your defense doesn't hold up, which most defenses don't. And even if it does, it's still the wrong play.
I'm losing my freaking mind here. Now, let's see. That's a good play by the Raiders, I think, also to kick this thing in the field of play because, that takes 10 seconds right there. And he didn't have a choice, or it took whatever it took, 6 seconds. But, that's a play you don't get with Ben.
Right. That's worth it. That's absolutely smart.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you'd love them to kick in the field, in the end zone, and put your hand up and be done. Start at 25 because again, it comes down to plays. Now you have what, 2 or 3 plays, or 2 plays in a field goal attempt, and you have 1 timeout, which is huge. I mean, maybe you can get AB free, maybe you can get Juju free in the middle of the field. I mean, it's not over, but you made it too hard on yourself as usual.
Yeah. So you're going to get what do you got to get to? You've got to get to the 40, 57 yarder. You can at least attempt a 57 yarder. That's a good play.
That'll work.
Play.
And that's another typical Steelers
weekend. Holy cow! Kick it.
Kick it.
Holy cow! Holy Christ!
Unbelievable. And you're still the more talented team, and you still get away with it. Maybe it's crazy. Wow.
That was James Washington, huh?
It was Washington, too. I thought that was AB originally.
Oh, it's a good toss by him.
But they trust the rookie to pull that off there.
Now, what's the deal? Oh, he's got somebody running behind him, too. Is that AB? Is that AB running behind? I was going to see, would he have made it? He wouldn't have made it. Joseph would have taken him out of bounds. Boy,
yeah,
Boswell,
I don't think he could have gone
Is his job? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Good Lord.
He fell. Oh, my God.
They've been talking about cleats this entire time and bad field, and oh, my Lord. That's how he lives.
I cannot believe this.
I don't blame Boz for that. Wow. What's with this team every week?
Holy.
Find weirder ways to lose. Oh,
I mean, it is unbelievable what's been going on the last week.
Unbelievable. Wow. It's nuts.
All right, Matt. Everybody, hey,
wow.
Guys, sorry. I don't know if my video went out a couple times there, but thanks for being with us. Steelers are down. Matt will probably be with you next week. I won't. I'll certainly be with you on December 23rd when the Steelers take on the Saints. And good gracious, we hope that game matters at this point. It has been a rough go. Thanks for being with us on Fourth Quarter Live on FanCred. Thanks, Matt. Check out Matt's podcast on Locked On the NFL, right?
Yes, sir. Stop back. We always keep it interesting.
Okay. Thanks, guys.